Dice clatter across the worn wooden table, landing decisively on a 20. Tears erupt around the table, smiles bright and eyes wide with excitement. The old tavern walls fade into the background as the story unfolds vividly. Heroes battling unspeakable horrors, exploring lost lands, and navigating webs of intricate intrigue. Every roll, every whispered plan, every moment shared is something that becomes a memory, etched deeply in each player's heart. This is the magic of tabletop role-playing games. Not just numbers and mechanics, but stories that bind us together and stories that we live and breathe. Now let's dive into the top 10 TTRPGs that I believe every aspiring storyteller and passionate player must try at least once. Hey everyone, Kelfecil here, professional narrative designer and adventure writer. Today we're stepping away from the usual format to dive into a special topic, my personal top 10 TTRPGs that I absolutely think everybody must try at least once. These are games that I learned from, enjoyed, and deeply actually respect. Each one has something special to offer, especially if you're into narrative design and storytelling. So without further ado, let's get started. At number 10, we have Dungeons & Dragons. Now, at the heart of nearly every TTRPG conversation is Dungeons & Dragons, the game that not only started it all, but continues to define the role-playing landscape today. From its humble beginnings in the 1970s to its global phenomenon status, D&D provides the essential framework for storytelling. Combat mechanics, character progression, and many other countless things and systems that other systems have built upon, actually. It's the blueprint that introduced millions to imaginative storytelling, and shaped countless memorable adventures, and even inspired generations of designers. But why should you try it, especially if you're already familiar with other systems? Well, simply put, understanding D&D is like learning the grammar of a language. It forms the baseline from which all other tabletop games diverge. It helps you grasp the nuances of player expectations, narrative pacing, and mechanical interactions. Moreover, its widespread popularity ensures that knowing D&D makes communicating your ideas with other players a lot more effortless. At least in many cases. Whether you're discussing world building, encounter design, or character concepts, referencing D&D's universally recognized terms and structures makes your stories relatable and your sessions much smoother. Lastly, despite its familiarity, D&D continues to evolve, demonstrating remarkable flexibility and adaptability through homebrew content, expansions, and new settings. Exploring its rich history and extensive community contributions can ignite inspiration and creativity for your own narrative designs. Whether you're a seasoned storyteller or just a newcomer, there's always something valuable to discover by revisiting, or experiencing at least for the first time, the timeless magic that is Dungeons & Dragons. At number 9, we got Call of Cthulhu. Horror redefined. Call of Cthulhu is a groundbreaking TTRPG that turns conventional role-playing dynamics completely upside down. Rather than empowering players to conquer monsters through brute force, it plunges them into scenarios that, well, survival is the best outcome that one can hope for. Encounters in Call of Cthulhu don't just test characters' physical prowess, they actually relentlessly chip away at their mental stability. Every eerie sound, shadowy figure, and obscure artifact encountered in-game has the potential to lead characters and even players down the path of complete and utter madness. What makes Call of Cthulhu truly exceptional, however, is its narrative-driven approach. It allows the Game Master, also known as the Keeper in Call of Cthulhu, to craft deeply atmospheric stories that emphasize tension, suspense, and psychological horror. Instead of combat-heavy sessions, Call of Cthulhu rewards investigation, ingenuity, and caution. It encourages storytelling that is rich with mystery and paranoia and impending dread. Each session becomes a gripping narrative experience that sticks with players long after the dice are put away. For designers and game masters alike, playing Call of Cthulhu offers invaluable insights into pacing and tension building. You learn to carefully craft scenes that slowly build an atmosphere of dread, pushing players to confront both external horrors and their own internal fears. The game's mechanics seamlessly support this approach, ensuring that suspense is not just maintained, but heightened at every critical moment. If you're passionate about creating unforgettable horror narratives, then Call of Cthulhu is an absolute must-play. At number 8, we got Forbidden Lands. Forbidden Lands uniquely blends the immersive storytelling of traditional RPGs with the structured exploration typically found in, well, mostly board games. This fascinating hybrid makes it stand out as a perfect introduction for players who enjoy structured gameplay but crave narrative depth. Its innovative hex-based exploration system allows adventurers to have complete freedom in how they want to chart their own paths, offering limitless possibilities for discovery. Every hex entered can unveil mysteries, resources, allies, or even threats, and each one of them contributes organically to a deeply personalized narrative. What truly elevates Forbidden Lands, though, is how its mechanics foster natural storytelling and pacing. Rather than predetermined linear adventures, players simply shape their story through exploration, decision-making, and consequences. The system encourages players to weigh their choices very carefully, especially considering that resources are scarce and danger is ever present, which all of that together ensures that there is always tension and it remains very high. This balance between freedom and structure teaches an invaluable lesson in pacing and narrative control. I know I say this a lot, and I've said it for the previous TTRPG as well, but this is something that helps aspiring designers and GMs learn how to craft compelling player-driven adventures. Additionally, Forbidden Lands is exceptional in its handling of survival mechanics, something that we don't see very often done well in TTRPGs. Players must manage their provisions, gear, and even the morale of their adventuring party, adding a tangible sense of realism and immersion to the game. Encounters feel significant because every decision impacts the group's survival, making each session memorable and engaging. If you're looking to refine your understanding of game balance, pacing, and immersive storytelling, Forbidden Lands is an essential experience. At number 7, we have Tidal Blades. Now, Tidal Blades stands out dramatically in the realm of TTRPGs, particularly for its exceptional use of visual storytelling. Employing the flexible cipher system, it offers an accessible yet mechanically intriguing gameplay experience. Although opinions might vary regarding its system mechanics, where some players find it, well, brilliantly simple, while others prefer more complexity, its strength lies undeniably in its breathtaking visuals and its meticulous art direction. This is the point that I want to focus on for Tidal Blades, and this is why it's in the list. Each illustration in Tidal Blades isn't merely decorative, it is narratively charged, telling expansive stories that evoke curiosity and wonder without needing lengthy textual descriptions or dense lore. The visuals alone transfer the players to an intricately crafted world, rich with thematic depth and vibrant characters. Through detailed landscapes to evocative character designs and dynamic scenes, the game creates an immersive atmosphere that naturally sparks player engagement and creativity. This artistic approach reinforces how powerful imagery can seamlessly communicate the mood, culture, and nuances of a world, making Tidal Blades a compelling study in visual world building. For designers and storytellers, Tidal Blades demonstrates an essential lesson. Visuals are not merely supplemental, they are foundational. Effective art direction can profoundly shape a player's experience, guide their imagination, and enhance narrative immersion. If you're looking to explore innovative methods for bringing your stories and worlds to life, Tidal Blades is an invaluable source of inspiration. At number 6, we got Vampire the Masquerade. Vampire the Masquerade is the epitome of role-playing depth, where player agency, complex politic dynamics, and character-driven storytelling reigns supreme. Set in a richly detailed, shadowy world, Vampire the Masquerade explores the lives and struggles of vampires, grappling with their humanity, ambitions, and insatiable hunger. This hunger mechanic is brilliantly simple, yet profoundly impactful. It compels players into making decisions that consistently shape the narrative and their character's personal journey. Unlike traditional combat-heavy systems, Vampire the Masquerade thrives on intrigue, diplomacy, and psychological tension. Players navigate a web of vampire politics, forming alliances, betraying rivals, and dealing with the constant pressure of maintaining the masquerade that hides their true nature from humanity. Each choice, from subtle manipulations to overt confrontations, has far-reaching consequences, creating deeply immersive and emotionally charged storytelling experiences. For designers and game masters, VTM is a powerful case study in minimalist yet highly effective mechanics. Its streamlined system proves that fewer rules can amplify storytelling, enabling narrative fluidity and richer character development. However, to fully experience its potential, it's crucial to have a game master who deeply understands the intricate social and political nuances of the game. If you're looking to elevate your narrative design skills and craft, well, gripping character-driven campaigns actually, Vampire the Masquerade is an indispensable resource. At number 5, we got Legend of the Five Rings. Legend of the Five Rings stands apart as one of the most culturally rich, intricate, and deeply personal role-playing experiences ever crafted, at least in my opinion. The original L5R system uniquely intertwines lore, societal expectations, political dynamics, and personal identity directly into its character creation process. This means that from the very first moments of creating your character, you're deeply embedded within the vibrant and demanding world of Rokugan. Each choice, be it your clan, family, or personal philosophy, carries profound implications for your journey, influencing your honor, relationships, and ultimate destiny. What makes L5R truly exceptional is the sense of weight and consequence attached to every decision. Players must constantly balance personal desires against their clan's interests, societal pressures, structures and the strict code of honor that governs Rokugani society. This meticulous interplay between personal and political elements feels impactful and uniquely tailored to their choices. The character arcs developed within L5R are not only rich in storytelling depth, but resonate with authenticity and dramatic tension. For narrative designers and storytellers, L5R really offers unparalleled lessons in integrating character identity with broader narrative themes. By observing how character choices consistently ripple through both personal and political landscapes, you learn to craft more immersive narratives that meaningfully engage players at every level of storytelling. While mastering L5R demands considerable understanding of its detailed lore and complex societal structures, the payoff is an incredibly immersive experience that seamlessly fuses character identity with profound narrative impact. At number 4, we got Wesen. Wesen brilliantly captures the essence of folklore and supernatural mystery, making it the ideal TTRPG for crafting impactful, one-shot adventures. Rooted in Nordic folklore, and actually having explored a lot of other cultures and places too, the game elegantly transforms traditional myths into engaging investigative narratives that captivate players within a single memorable session. Wesen excels at balancing simplicity with depth, and also delivering concise yet emotionally resonant storytelling experiences. The strength of Wesen lies in its ability to weave tight, compelling mysteries. Players take on the role of investigators, uncovering supernatural threats hidden within everyday life, guided by a streamlined system designed to keep gameplay fluid and immersive. Each adventure revolves around a clear, intriguing mystery, carefully structured to provide just enough tension or revelation to maintain player engagement from start to finish. For designers, I would say that Wesen offers invaluable lessons in crafting focused narratives. It teaches how to distill complex folklore into accessible yet captivating storylines, ensuring every moment at the table counts. The game also demonstrates how to build atmosphere and suspense effectively, fostering a gripping narrative flow that players will remember vividly. If your goal is to master the art of impactful, concise storytelling, especially for one-shots, then Wesen is a must-play TTRPG. At number 3, we have Coriolis. Coriolis is a masterful exploration of religion, politics, and cultural dynamics, all set against a richly detailed science fiction backdrop. It presents a captivating universe where diverse factions with competing ideologies and ambitions navigate complex interstellar relationships. Players find themselves immersed in intricate and meticulously crafted narratives that delve deeply into themes of faith, identity, and power struggles, making every session a compelling examination of societal tensions and personal beliefs. What sets Coriolis apart is its commitment to nuanced storytelling. The game encourages deep immersion through carefully designed encounters and intricate plot lines, each reflecting the profound consequences of the player's decisions. The setting is not merely a backdrop, but a vibrant, interactive world where every character's action resonates politically and culturally, creating layers of tension and intrigue. As a result, player interactions carry significant weight, ensuring the role-playing remains meaningful and engaging throughout the campaign. For game masters and designers that wish to learn from Coriolis, I would say that this TTRPG offers an invaluable study in building complex narrative ecosystems. It highlights the importance of meticulous world building and demonstrates how detailed cultural and political elements can dramatically enrich the storytelling experience. Crafting stories within Coriolis' universe will sharpen your skills in developing sophisticated character dynamics, strategic tension building, and immersive role-playing scenarios. If you seek to deepen your understanding of complex narrative structures and immersive gameplay, Coriolis is an essential experience. I would also like to add a note here saying that despite the fact that sci-fi and specifically cyberpunk is my all-time favorite genre and theme, Coriolis is actually the first one of its type to be mentioned here. That is because I care more about the story and not just the theme. So, I just wanted to mention that the theme is not a bias here. At number 2, we got Symbaroum. Symbaroum is a dark, atmospheric TTRPG that seamlessly combines gritty realism with deeply evocative storytelling. Set in a world where ancient forests conceal terrifying secrets and ruthless corruption, Symbaroum presents a landscape fraught with danger and moral ambiguity. Magic isn't simply a tool, it corrupts its wielders, and it creates tension and significant narrative stakes whenever it is used. Monsters aren't merely foes to defeat, they are lethal threats that underscore the harsh brutality of the setting, forcing players to think strategically and carefully before they take any actions. The game's mechanics are intentionally crafted to reinforce this harsh reality. Every decision players make carries significant consequences, heightening the emotional and narrative stakes at every turn. This meticulous balance between narrative and mechanics ensures players constantly feel vulnerable yet impactful, enhancing their immersion in the unfolding story. For designers, Symbaroum is a goldmine of insights into crafting impactful narrative arcs, character development, and intense encounters. Its epic campaigns are renowned for their depth and complexity, demonstrating how to effectively pace stories, develop meaningful character arcs, and create deeply immersive scenarios. Symbaroum is also the one TTRPG that has the longest campaign I've ever seen written for it. If you want to master the art of gritty, powerful storytelling that resonates emotionally and narratively with players, exploring the brutal, beautiful world of Symbaroum is absolutely indispensable. At number 1, we have Tales from the Loop. Tales from the Loop is a masterpiece of simple yet profound narrative design, empowering players to become co-authors of the story in a way few other TTRPGs manage to do so. Set in an alternate 1980s infused with retro-futuristic technology and eerie mysteries, this game invites players to step into the shoes of kids, exploring a world filled with secrets and wonder. But what truly makes it stand out is how it flips the traditional game master dynamic on its head. Players actually actively contribute to shaping their world, families, daily lives, and they share storytelling authority in a refreshingly open-ended way. This collaborative narrative approach means that every session feels deeply personal and unique. Instead of relying solely on the GM's direction, players build out the details of their characters' lives and relationships. They do so, and they weave them naturally into the larger story. The system's streamlined mechanics support this beautifully, placing emphasis on character interaction, emotional stakes, and the small yet powerful moments that make each story memorable. For narrative designers and GMs, Tales from the Loop is an inspiring lesson in trusting players to take ownership of the story. It shows how light mechanics paired with the player-driven ideas can result in rich, meaningful storytelling. If you're looking to design games that prioritize collaborative storytelling, emotional depth, and player agency especially, Tales from the Loop is the perfect place to start. Tales from the Loop also explores a lot of different storytelling methods and mechanics that designers can learn a lot from piecing together one-shots into a longer campaign, all the way to using countdowns and even awesome twists at the end of your story. So, looking at all of these incredible systems reminds me why I fell in love with TTRPGs in the first place, but it also kind of leaves me with a growing frustration. So many new TTRPGs feel more like flashy products than genuine innovations. The industry seems obsessed right now with who's endorsing the game or how many stretch goals it can sell, rather than asking the most important question: does this system help tell better stories? Shows like Critical Role, for example, have done wonders for popularizing TTRPGs, but they've also fueled a wave of marketing-first designs that often lack real narrative depth. Meanwhile, the board games industry continues to break molds and push design forward with bold risks and new mechanics every year. TTRPGs could stand to learn a lot from that spirit. We need systems that dare to experiment, that challenge the GM's role, that invite players to co-create and take narrative risks. We need more games that surprise us, scare us, and move us. Stories that stick with us long after the session ends. So my hope right now is basically that the next generation of TTRPG designers will pick up where the classics left off and build the next wave of unforgettable games that put powerful, innovative storytelling at the very heart of the experience. I don't want to see more OSR dungeon crawls and things that have already been played out and remade 1,000 times over. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for weekly narrative insights, and please share your thoughts in the comments. Have you played any of these games, or do you maybe have another favorite that is really worth talking about? I'd love to hear your experiences. If you'd like to support me, then you'll be happy to know that I also run a Patreon page with new and exclusive TTRPG content released every single month. A huge thank you as always to my fantastic patrons who, with their amazing support, are keeping me going with what I love to do the most. Until next time, may Starlight guide your way, my friends. Bye bye!